Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. Once again, I find myself looking at Oulton Park. Nothing I'm doing. I still don't have a steering wheel to do anything with. But I am commentating at this lovely English circuit once again. Not for Apex Online Racing, for those that can read the title of the video. I am back with the RSR crews, Revolutions in Racing, for their Ginetta Cup. And here we are then. There are 23 drivers currently in the session, although there were a few that had a few difficulties. Just myself in the commentary box this evening. So we will run through who we have got. Stokeman, the yellow and black car. Reminds me rather of M&M's colour scheme. Meerkat. A number of these drivers I will recognise from the Formula C race that took place at Monaco. But also, there's a couple of names I recognise from elsewhere as well. Mark. Nice and simple, in the grey and blue car. Firefly. Now, I've seen Firefly race before in AOR circles, so welcome to you. Born to be slow. Fabulous, man after my own heart. He is in the cyan and grey car. James L91. Which one is he in? He is in the white one. So plain white for him, or the custom skin for him, I am sure. Eugene Flerco. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing that right. Also in the M&M flavoured, I'm going to call that colour scheme the M&M flavoured Ginetta. So car number 31. Steve G200. Just shorten Steve. In the very minty green flavoured car, Fab Iceman, who had some excellent racing at the Azure circuit in the Formula Cs. I commentated on him through AOR's GT3 season. The last one indeed. So a familiar name for me. Jacob P. The red and black Ginetta. Freak Superman. A bit of lag going on there. So hopefully he's not going to be too bad. If we got the map, we can see where we are. Nada. He's in the very multicoloured black, yellow and cyan blue car. Reman DK. Now, when I did the Ginetta League, we've gained a driver. That's always good to see. It's Eagle, who's joined us in the black and white car. Now, when I was doing Ginetta racing for AOR, that was the colour scheme I used, along with Andrix UK. Drux, the multi-green car. Oh, nice kicking out the tail there. If you can get the slide to go around that particular turn. Fatid Kursat. Again, apologies if I am not pronouncing that correctly. The white and black car. Costco, who I actually commentated on last night for AOR. So again, it's probably the first time I've commentated on the same individual in two different leagues and the same track. Range 1977, also in the blue and white coloured Ginetta. We've gained another two. We have gained Yami, 916, and Laserbeak. That is all 26 drivers due to take part in this evening's race. So that's good. Everybody that is due to take part this evening has found the server. Tauju. The red and black car. Puff Pirate. Also in the minty green car, who was keeping Fab Iceman very true and honest throughout the race at Azure Circuit. Shepherd, chasing down that blue and white car. Cataclysms is the blue and white car he is chasing. Oops, gone a little bit too wide at Druid's Corner, turn number 15. And we start to see some times come on the board. There is Battenberg in the M&M's flavoured car. And Darsky is our 26th and final racer. Times coming on the board then. Now, one thing I was curious about, the race that I commentated on for AOR, actually at the time of recording yesterday, was in the touring cars. So I'm curious to see how these GT5s stack up. And looking at the top lap time by Puff Pirate, who's just coming out of the pits for another go, it would seem that these are a little quicker. As we were seeing, I think it was 148s, might have been 146s, so certainly on par with the touring cars. It might be interesting one day to see the GT5s and the touring cars share the same bit of track. Taudio in second position, but already 4/10 up, enough to get the pole time, but he has got someone right in front of him. Of course, we can't tell who that is, because he is coming up to, just get my map, that is 7, 8, 9, that's the Britain's S's. It's going to be interesting to see whether he was held up through that particular section. Steve, currently third, 147, 104. Two drivers within 3/10 of Puff Pirate. That is nothing to scoff at at all. So Steve is actually running the same coloured livery as Puff Pirate. And Steve a little bit up on his previous time, 46 thousandths. Not quite enough to get into second spot. But Taudio was actually... see, he's lost all that time. That's a shame. He was 4/10 up before he got held up on that particular lap. There is Drux in the multi-green car. Now, Oulton Park is not a very big track at all. And it was pretty busy with 20 touring cars on it yesterday, so having 26 GT5s will create some quite intense moments. I have absolutely no doubt at all. There was Firefly, currently 5th, 148.062. Goodness me, just, was it 9 thousandths between himself? Oh, there was 9 thousandths between himself and Drux, who's just increased his, it's just gone up the scale a little bit more. Born to be slow. In 6th position with a 147.6. He is pretty close to Range. And as we're seeing some more time, and Fab Iceman has just got the pole time. And you can actually see it in the race feed box. Now, I'm actually not used to that race feed box working, so you may notice things appear in the race feed box in the bottom right hand corner. And I may not necessarily, because I'm obviously looking center stage. Oh dear, that's one of the blue ones. I think that might be, is that Range? No, it's the other one that was running that colour scheme. That's someone overcooking it at Cascades, turn number 3. As Nada returns to the pits with a 147.571, just 0.03 of a second behind Mark. So pretty decent times coming onto the board. I would have loved to have taken part of this, but unfortunately my steering wheel blew up over the last weekend, so didn't fancy trying to do this on a control pad. So, decided to deploy my talents here in the commentary box. So, Mark then... Oh, we've just lost one actually, which is a bit of a shame. Laserbeak. Laserbeak Eagle. Looks like Yami might be the one we've lost. I think it is. Oh, James, that's too much. Oh, look at the damage on the back of the car. He's gone very out of shape even before he got to turns 7, 8, and 9. So, this car's rocking around, so he'll jump back to the pits and then try again. He still has the damage on the back of the car. It's interesting. When he returns to the pits, I'd have expected that to have actually been repaired. Born to be slow. What a time. 145.732. Has actually... Taudio actually did get the pole time looking at the race feed, 146.520, but by nearly 0.8 of a second, Born to be slow got the pole time. Wow, he is really coming alive in these Ginettas. Very nicely done. Where's Fab Iceman? There he is. He's gone through turn number 5 and heading up to the Britain's S's. Let's see if we can get... He throws the nose in and controls the slide as he comes through. He's getting a bit of warmth into his tyres, so he's either on an out lap or he has decided to bin that one and try again a bit later on. 6.5 minutes to go of this qualifying session. It is 2 races, a sprint and a feature race. It's 15 plus 5, so the plus 5 is mainly there to sort the grid out, although they run off the qualifying order, so... but they will have it's a rolling start, so they will have to follow the leader through the entire lap as a Born to be Slow jumps back to the pits. And then it'll be at least 15 minutes of pure racing from that point on, and then it is reverse grid order from the first race results for race number 2, and Yami has returned. Assuming it was actually Yami that we lost earlier. James is on track as well. I'm pretty certain that the timing bug of old has been fixed, but the fact that Laserbeak has got a time on the board confirms that it is actually fixed. I.e., those that joined the qualifying session late would never get off the bottom of the timing screen on our side. But old habits die hard. Let's see where who's further ahead. Actually, James is just about to cross the line, and he is starting a lap, or he had his last one invalidated, as Stokeman returns to the pits. Yami is further down the road, so let us see then what he is able to do, assuming he's on a time lap. He is coming through. That is 10, 11 and 12. It seems quite... it's either an outlap or he's been very cautious coming through those turns. Puff Pirate is in the pit as well, so Puff Pirate is in second, 146.4. Wow, goodness me, even Puff Pirate is still 7/10 behind Born to be Slow. Stunning effort then for that pole spot. Absolutely cracking. 4.5 minutes to go of this qualifying session as Yami comes into turn 15, Druids. I beg your pardon, that's turn 16. Again, my corner numbers are muddled up. There's a Lodge corner. And he crosses the line. So he was actually on an outlap. That's why he was appearing to be cautious. Let's ride him through then. So he's just gone through Old Hall corner, turn number 1. Now down the avenue, the right kink over the crest is turn 2. Denton's now on the brakes. Let the car slide out through turn 3 Cascades. You can see the nose went, the tail a little reluctant to slide, ironically. Now down Lakeside towards turn 4, Island Bend. Flat out left-hander. And he actually lifted there. You can do it flat if you get the entry right. Turn 5, Shell Oils corner. The banked... Oh, he fell off the apex. He went to turn in, but the car just would not stick for some reason. Turn 6. That leads into the Britain's S is 7, 8 and 9. That bollard on the right-hand side is devastating. If you hit it... Oh, he caught the apex a little too hard. And that really unsettled the car. And James has actually set a time as well. He's gone off the bottom of the table, and he is... I can't actually find his name. He's a 16th with a 148.009. Into 10, 11, Hislops, 12, Knickerbrook. Again, if you get the entry right, you can do it flat, but it's quite risky in the GT5s. Now, Clay Hill, over the crest of 13. Then Water Tower. This next left kink of 14. Now, Druids, 15 can actually be quite tricky, especially if it's wet. The double apex right-hander. Still hard on the gas. Under Warwick Bridge and into the penultimate corner, turn 16. Again, it's so easy to overcook it and head off onto the AstroTurf on the left-hand side. And then it is Deep Deer Leap. That's over the crest, 17. And for Yami, it is... He remains in 26th then with a 154.8. So struggling a bit with these GT5s. We have just over 2 minutes to go. Our poleman, Born to be Slow, is anything but. He's got someone rejoining in front of him. Oh my goodness me. That was that Dartsky? It was. Dartsky got all out of shape heading to that session, and he managed to recover to the pits before anybody got on the way. Born to be Slow. Cross the line. He looks like he's pressing on. Is he going to improve? Answer is he does not. He was 2 seconds down, which would lead you to believe that this will be his final flying lap. Puff Pirate still second. He's coming through Britain's S's. 146.446. It's still 7/10 off the pole time. He looks like he is pressing on then with 1.5 minutes remaining of this qualifying session. Taudu in third position. Not even 700ths behind Puff Pirate. Oh, a little bit wide as he's come off that Lodge corner, turn 16. He's got a car ahead of him, but shouldn't hold him up too much. And he crosses the line, 2,000ths improved. But, of course, does not improve in position. If he's got the fuel, he could go on to do another lap. But I'll say he has got that car ahead of him. That could upset him a little bit. Stokeman. He's down in 18th now with that 148.080, and that's Marcus' return to the pits. His day is done. He will not have time to come out. As you can hear, lots of cars coming over the line, and not seeing anybody improve as yet. Born to be Slow, still holding that very crucial. Oh, that was very deep coming through turn 11, but he's kept his foot in it. Now it's going to be up to the end of sector 2, so we'll see what his delta says, and he is 7/10 down, so that will not. So this just serves as a practice run then for Born to be Slow. Is he going to beat the clock? as he comes through 15, comes through Druids. That is one of the red and black cars just getting out of the way. Might be Dartsky. No, same colour, but not that particular driver. Oh, he's got 15 seconds to beat the flag. Wow, that's dedication. That's not the quickest way of getting a decent exit off of that turn. And Fab Iceman has actually gone up to second. And yes, Born to Be Slow did beat the clock by just under 5 seconds. The flag is now out. So Fab Iceman did get 146.158, getting him second on the board. He's just coming up to the end of Sector 1, coming into Turn 5. What does his delta say? He's a 10th down, so that's not going to help. So he has half a second to still fine. Born to Be Slow is out there on a time lapse as well, but he has jumped back to the pits. His day is done. So 1:45.732, absolutely stunning lap. Fab Iceman is out there. Where is Puff Pirate? He's crossed the line and his day is done. He improved, but only by a 10th. He finds himself in third, 1:46.366. 6 tenths down. That's a lot of sixes. 6 tenths down from this man. What a great effort then by Born to Be Slow. Where is Fab Iceman? He's just come through the Britain's S's. He's coming up to the end of Sector 2. Let's see what the delta is. Is he up or is he not? He is not. He's still a 10th down. That just goes to show how stunning that pole time was. That's a lot of dedication there by Fab Iceman. He dropped that down a gear and floored it. You could hear the rev limiter bouncing away to get the tail out. And Puff Pirate did actually improve. I thought his day was done, but no, he deceived me. But he's in second, 1:45.841, a 10th shy of the pole time. Fab Iceman is going to come across the line. He was a 10th down at the beginning of Sector 2. He does not improve, and he will start no higher than third position. Taudu, he's pretty much slowed down through at Turn 5. I think everybody is done for the day. Drux is in, so let's. Drux is in the pits. James is under AI control. He's gone through. Someone's still revving their engine to death. 30 seconds in before the session is done. Ranch, 1977. Eugene Flacco. Firefly still on track, but is as I under AI control. As you can see, as is Dartsky, Stokeman. I would imagine there isn't anybody on a flying lap now. Jacob P. and Lazybeak. Indeed, everybody is under AI control, so in 10 seconds time we will get the confirmation of the qualifying order for race number 1. So as previously mentioned, it is 15 plus 5, so why don't you say 20 minutes? Well, it's because the countdown starts at 20 minutes and then the rolling start begins. So I'll explain that shortly. So Born to Be Slow, 1:45.732, stunning effort, beats Puff Pirate by a 10th. Third is Fab Iceman, 4 Taudu, 5 Steve G, 6 is Drux, 7 is James, 8 is Ranch, 9th is Eugene Flecker, and 10th is Nada. Okay, so what's going to happen here is drivers have an opportunity to make any setup alterations that they so choose to do. And they can... that's assuming it's not forced default. I can't actually remember whether this race is or not. I confess. Should have looked that one up, and I completely forgot to. So this is an opportunity for anybody to make any last-minute alterations that they're allowed to do. They will then ready up, and the rolling start will begin. So this is the qualifying order for this race. And Born to Be Slow will lead them off on the rolling start lap. So no more than 80 kilometers an hour up until the beginning of Sector 3, which is after turns 10, 11 and 12, before Druids essentially. They will form the 2x2 line that you can see in front of you, which they will then drop their speed to 50 kilometers an hour. And when they get back onto the start-finish straight, it is up to Born to Be Slow as to when he will floor it to signify that when the race begins. So why is it listed as 15 plus 5? Well, at the top you will see when the race actually starts. You'll hear the lights, you'll ignore them. There they are. And you see the 20-minute timer will begin. The plus 5, wow, Born to Be Slow was not hanging around. He wants to get underway. So the plus 5 just gives the field a chance to get around the lap, get their tyres and brakes warmed up. I mean, they do start at a decent racing temperature, but of course they're not at racing speed, so they will lose some of that temperature. And once the grid is reformed, it won't take them 5 minutes to do the lap, but it means they're not having to rush to get round. But also, conversely, it does not take away from the 15-minute allocated race time. So that is why it is 15 plus 5 as opposed to listed as 20 minutes. Through turn number 3 they come. They'll be doing this considerably faster. Well, you would hope they would be doing it considerably faster next time around. Now, the touring car race that I was able to commentate on yesterday for AOR was brilliant fun, and I am expecting the same thing. I think these cars are a little bit quicker than the touring cars, but not by a massive amount. These little GT5s are fabulous fun to drive. I wish I could have actually been part of the race itself on board with James, starting from 7th position in the plain white car, the only one to run a custom livery, or unless on his screen it is of course pure white. Either way, he's the only one on my screen to do so. So I would imagine I will get a number of names wrong, mix up who's in which cars, forget who's in which colour cars, as I am fairly new to the RSR ranks. As previously mentioned in the last commentary video myself and Andrex did for them, hope to make a lot of commentaries for them, as it was fabulous fun. James is actually going a little slow. He's got quite a gap between himself and Drux. He needs to kind of close that down a little bit. They haven't got to Sector 3 yet. If we bring up the map, you can just about see where the T2 line is. That's the beginning of Sector 3. So now they will start to form the 2x2 line. We jump back up to the sharp end. So there you go. You can see that they're beginning to form. Odd numbers will be on the right, evens on the left. Ooh, that was a little bit close there by Taudu. That's what it looks like from the front, from the sharp end. Of course, there will be a little bit of fidgeting as they are combing around the corners. Moving at the speedo, you can see 50 miles an hour, 80 kilometers an hour or thereabouts. Or 80 miles an hour. I said 80 kilometers an hour earlier. I should have said 80 miles an hour before they hit the formation point. Someone's fallen off the back. That's oh dear, it's Meerkat. He's had a problem. He's spun, so he'd fallen off the grid. He will have to start from the back. He's not allowed to retake his original position. They haven't started racing yet. It is up to Born to be Slow to floor it to signify that they're beginning to race. And there he goes, and we are racing here at Oulton Park. Born to be Slow, of course, having the advantage of being able to floor it when he so chooses, maintains the lead. Fab Iceman is right there, maintaining that 3rd position. Taudu is down in 5th position. He has lost some positions. It is a bit of a shame, but on he goes. Looks like everybody is behaving themselves at the moment. No one flying off the road. You can see there's a lot of side-by-side there. That's Born to be Slow. Our poleman has now lost 2 positions. Unfortunately, the race feed box is not working again. That is a great shame. It was actually working quite well last time. Oh my goodness me, Born to be Slow trying to do an outside move on Fab Iceman. He's got back up into 2nd. Bit of door banging going on between the 2. Oh, big problem there for James. He's tangled up. It wasn't Ranch. Ranch is in the blue car, so that is James's car utterly destroyed. Oh my goodness me, just a small tap sent him into the wall, and that's Laserbeak that's in trouble as well. James is out, and Shepard is at the back as well, so there's been a lot of trouble back there. Laserbeak very, very slow. Oh no, that is terrible then for those that started like that, but look at that, Born to be Slow, and Puff Fire is actually 1.7 seconds down the road. You just saw it, there he is, the green car just going out of the shot. That Fab Iceman side by side with the pole sitter. As they now come into turn 15, that's Druid. Born to be Slow, really sticking that one around the outside. If we go on board with Steve, look at that, wrong camera. And these two have been side by side for quite a number of corners. Born to be Slow still holding the outside line, but he's now gone too wide. He has maintained that 3rd spot, though. I thought he was going to fly off the road. Steve is looking to capitalise on that mistake. And look at that, there's the red car, that's Taudu. That is also looking to capitalise on any mistake of those ahead of him. Oh, like so. That is Steve. I think has gone off the road. Oh, no, bigger pardon. It was actually Born to be Slow. It's gone too wide. Still side by side then as they come into turn 3. Oh, Tony has gone wide, though. He's gone horribly wide. He's actually avoided the advertising hoarding. I'd have gone through them personally. So he's going to have to be careful how he rejoins. And he is now back on circuit. So he's now down to 8th then. That is how... And still, Born to be Slow is side by side with someone. That is Steve he's now side by side with. And that's down to 4th then. A great inside manoeuvre by the green car. That's right with him in the blue and striped car. Fab Iceman then now has his sights set on Puff Pirate once again, exactly as they did in the Formula Season. Oh no, it was like the flew off the road. It was Ranch. Oh no, he slammed into the tyres. He's struggling to get going, but of course he can't reverse too much because he's going to reverse straight into circuit. There's not a lot of room there. He's doing the same thing. He's been very careful about how how he rejoins the track, and that's the damage on the front of his car. Oh dear, that's going to make his day very long and uncomfortable indeed. Back up to the front then. Puff Pirate leads by just shy of 3 seconds from Fab Iceman. Steve is now in 3rd. There's Born to be Slow. Well, that impressive pole time has not been able to maintain the momentum at the moment because the cars are a bit heavier this time around. That's Firefly now up to 5th position with the Eugene Flerco. Keeping pace in 6th position. There is Taudio with that mistake we saw at turn 3 last time around. That is how much it's cost them. They've got a 4-car battle behind with Nada, Drux, Riman and Mark. From Mark's perspective, oh, he hit the apex of turn 1 very hard. Now in these cars they don't get unsettled quite as badly as the Formula C's do. And so we've lost another from the race, unfortunately. Not entirely sure who it is we've lost. But we are down to 24 already. Oh, Drux has had a fair amount of arguments going on as well. You can see by his reshaped car. And look at that, was Riman looking to throw it on the inside of turn 5. Couldn't quite get it done. Mark's right there to try and get up the field as well, but also can't quite get it done. No sooner do I say that. He then gets side by side as they come into turn 7. Mark had to back out of that. He was not sufficiently ahead to realistically challenge, but looking further back, that's Darsky and Stokeman side by side, now 3 wide, as Battenberg is then joining in. Oh no, beg your pardon, that's not Battenberg, that's Cataclysm that is joining in on that particular battle as well. Cataclysm has demoted Stokeman down a position, and the blue car trying to do something on the inside of the next turn. Can he get ahead of Darsky? He does. Can he hold it? Darsky then having the inside for turn 12 and just about manages. Cataclysm just keeps hold of that position. That's Jacob P that joins the back of that field with Meerkat not far behind. Oh no! Massive problem. The Stokeman that's just made a mistake. Oh no, big problem. No, it was Stokeman. I just clicked on the wrong name. Massive problem then for Stokeman. He's hit the barrier very hard. Of course, he's on track. He would have announced that on TeamSpeak to our drivers to make sure that none of them crash into his stationary car. He is wisely picking a good time to try and get back underway. That is Gosku. That's so his race is unraveled as well. Oh goodness me, that is how costly a mistake is. But look at the lead. The lead is down to 1.5 seconds. Fab Iceman closed in by, oh goodness me, about half a second on Puff Pirate. The last lap alone, we saw how fiercely these two competitors fight. Oh, that's too quick into turn 5. He would have lost some time. Shepard comes into, it was Shepard coming into the pits. Again, went to click on the name just as it moved. So Shepard is in, and that's quite a lot of damage on his car. He's opting to pit as opposed to try and run with it. Fab Iceman, wow, he's really getting to grips very well with these Ginettas. There in the background is Steve. He's not too far off the pace of these guys either. He closed in on Puff Pirate by a couple of tenths last time around as well. There's no rear wing for Fab Iceman to knock off this time, so these cars can take a bit of damage, a little bit easier than the Formula cars can. And also, as I was trying to mention earlier, these type of saloon cars handle a bit of the equilibrium being disturbed, so they can hit the bumps a bit harder and ride them a bit easier than Formula Cars can. The Puff Pirates, oh my goodness me, huge problem for the green car. He went too deep into Druids and just got onto the grass, managed to hold it, but of course that puts Fab Iceman right on his case. Once again, we see Fab Iceman right under the wing, as much as it is a wing on these things, with Puff Pirate. You can see the time. Look at that. That's 1.5 seconds that Fab Iceman gained on Puff Pirate alone because of that mistake that the legend himself put onto the field. A couple of seconds between themselves, and still was 3 seconds indeed between themselves and Steve. Steve didn't have a great lap, 47.4 last time around. There he is, also in the green and black car. Not too far behind him, there's Eugene Flacco, who's had a great race so far. He's demoted Firefly at some point in the race, and again Firefly went to the outside. Went to the inside for turn 4. Opted not to. There's no braking zone there, so it's exceedingly dangerous to try and move there. Keeping his car very large in the mirrors of Eugene at the moment. He's not going to have a look on the inside of turn 7. But right behind them is Taudew, so the red car not too far off the back. And Fab Iceman's made a mistake. Fab Iceman has made a mistake somewhere. As we looked away, he's now got 2 seconds to close down on Puff Pirate. So they were 2/10 apart. And somewhere along the line, the yellow car has wandered off the road. This is the view from Taudew then, as he has got... oops, don't go too wide there. That's Eugene Flurko and Firefly ahead of him. On a good lap is Taudew then, looking at his delta. He closed in 4/10 last time around on this dueling pair. So they come through Druids. Excuse me. Heading down towards turn 16, and behind you can see that's Drux, Mark and Rimac. That's a whole different thing. Oh, beg your pardon. Oh, no sooner do I actually look down at that list is Mark getting a great inside move at turn 16 on Nada. Mark on Drux, I beg your pardon. I'm reading the names completely wrong. So Mark on the move. Sending his personal best 147.2 last time around. Look at the damage on the back of Drux's car. That is not going to help them at all. Let's jump up to this battle then. This is a battle for 4th place. They've really condensed up now. That is, jump on board. This is what it looks like from the driver's perspective. As they come through that flat out turn 4, and that was Flurko was a little bit wide coming through there, but Towdy's going to have a look at the inside of turn 5. Can't quite get it done though, couldn't get alongside enough to challenge for that particular position, but of course if he did get alongside Firefly, there's no real room for him to slot in between Firefly and Flurko, so that would be very difficult for Towdy. He's going to have to pick his moment well. Still got time though, 6 3/4 minutes to go. So he's not challenging the clock just yet. There you see Steve in 3rd position. He's got some breathing space fore and aft. Oh, Taudio, he's missed his braking point into turn 10. That's going to lose him a whole bucket load of time. That's going to put Nada on his case, who brings with him Mark and Drux as well. Look at that damage on Drux's car. I mean, he's still doing 48.8, which isn't bad considering the damage on that car. I mean, the pole time was 1:45, so that just shows you how much pace he's lost in with the damage on his car. But he presses on nonetheless. Riman is about 5.5 seconds down from this particular battle. There he is. You just see him in the background in the blue striped car. His day is not getting any better. Battenberg, 11th position. We have an opportunity then to see who's where. He finds himself very much in no man's land. There's Meerkat. With Born to be slow, his race has gone very badly wrong. Look at the damage on our pole sitter's car. That has gone horribly wrong for him. So he now in 13th position and losing time. Oh, that's someone's car going utterly crazy in the pits there. Looks like it was breakdancing. There's Eagle. Missed the beginning part of qualifying, but did set a time. He is in 14th position. There's Darkski. Oh, Catch a Glimpse getting very wide there on turn 1. So Darkski, 15th. Catch a Glimpse, 16th. He's got 2 with him. That is Fatir Kirsat in the black and white car with JKP as well in short succession. Ranj, goodness me, had a great start, but we saw him nosedive into the barrier, and that has dropped him right the way down to 90. That's Freak Superman. Haven't seen a great deal of him. He's gone too wide at turn 3. That's let Stokeman through. Stokeman's not had a great run either. There's Gosco, whose luck doesn't seem to be getting any better. He's very much on his own, and Laserbeak is very much on his own. If you look back from Laserbeak, we can't really see it on that particular run, but next time someone comes past the pit, you can actually see a car, what looks like it's spinning in the pit lane. 1.5 seconds then is the lead. Puff Pirate, that lead beginning to come back down again. There you go. It's it's not spinning, it's just having a completely bizarre moment. 146.5 for Puff Pirate, 146.3 for Fab Iceman. Those two continuing their battle. Steve has fallen off the back of them by 6 seconds. Firefly in 4th. Eugene Flacco in 5th position with Tauju right with him as well. This three-way battle has not receded at all, although Tauju falling a little bit off the back of the two yellow cars. There behind them is Nada and Mark. Drux, of course, with that damaged car, is struggling to maintain the pace of them. Eugene Flacco is going to have a look on the inside of turn 5. Not quite. Probably looks much worse from our perspective than it does from theirs, as far as how quickly they close in on the car ahead. But of course, it's allowing Tauji to stay with them. The more these two fight, the more that Firefly's having to defend against Eugene Flacco, the more that allows. And look at that, Tauji had a pretty good run through that, through the Britain's S's. That's put him right in contention. Is he going to have a look at the inside of turn 10? He's going to go for it. That's going to little bit of a tap between him and Eugene Flacco, but no change of position. It's not really an opportunity to pass in there, so I don't think it was an intended move there by Tauju, but that does mean that's lost him a bit of time. Not too much though, but they are running out of time to do anything about it. Just over 2.5 minutes remains of this first race, and Eugene Flacco's not had a good run through Druids. So is Tauju going to have a look on the inside of Lodge? Turn number 16, he does not. He opts not to go for that one. On board again with the red car. Bit of a shaking going on, a bit of lag going on, I think. Over the line once again. It's only going to be 2 more laps remaining. Coming through turn 1. So easy to get it wrong and fly off into the dust. Tauju was a little bit cautious coming through that, and that's actually given Eugene about a half a second's breathing space over the red and black car. But you can tell that Tauju's not giving up on that, and Fab Iceman now 1 second just over from Puff Pirate. There is the green card. There is Fab Iceman. He is closing in once again. He gained 4/10 that last time around. He's running out of time to do something about it. The checkered flag will come out on the next lap, so this is the penultimate lap then, as Stokeman is in the pits again. He's actually parking inside the breakdancing car, and that's okay. He's put it in the wrong box. Well done, Stokeman. But with the breakdancing car in the middle, I imagine that's a little bit distracting. Fab Iceman getting his personal best on the board as well. It looks like he's very close to getting into the 145s. He's keeping the pressure on Puff Pirate. That's less than a second between our lead two now, as they come down to Lodge for the penultimate time. Let's see what the lap times are. It's much harder as the chasing car than it is the defending car here at Oulton Park. Final lap. 146.2, 145.6 for Fab Iceman. He gained 6 tenths last time around with the fastest lap of the race, but it will not be enough. He's got to find even more than that. He's got to rely on a mistake by Puff Pirate to challenge for the lead. But keeping the pressure on, keeping your car very large in the mirrors, can often be enough to just distract the guy you're chasing. But both of these guys are very experienced hands. They know what they're up against. And as mentioned before, it was not that long ago where they were crossing swords previously. As Fab Iceman has closed in again, he's a 10th up on his last time. Just 3 tenths separates the two. The checkered flag is out. So these two will be fighting to the flag through 7, 8 and 9. On board with Fab Iceman. He's got very few opportunities left to try and get past this green car. Has a look on the inside of 10. Oh, it's going to get very close, but there's no impact between the two. Fab Iceman needs a good run now. He needs a good run out of 12. Both cars get in the apex fairly nicely, and Iceman doesn't get as good a run through that turn as Puff Pirate did. And you can see the time he's lost. He was a 10th up. He's now a 10th and a half down. And Puff Pirate will be well aware of that as they come through Druids once more. The only opportunity he's got left is into Lodge Corner that they're coming up to, and he's too far back. He's not likely to do it unless Puff Pirate overshoots the turn, which it doesn't look like he does. That is going to be a win then for Puff Pirate, unless he backs off before he hits the line. It's no such luck for Fab Iceman. Your winner here for race number 1 is Puff Pirate in the green and black car. Second is Fab Iceman. 45.7 was his lap last time around. Steve, pretty lonely there in 3rd position, 9 seconds down from the top 2. Firefly just manages to fend off Eugene Flecko for 4th. Taudu comes home in 6th position. There's Nada, who comes home in 7th. Mark right with him in 8th. Badberg is actually up to 9th. With misadventures of other people, I think. There's Drux in his damaged car. He's managed to finish in the top 10. Meerkat in 11th. There he is with Born to be Slow, finally coming home in 12th. What a great shame. But you could just see how that car's been rearranged. Eagle in 13th with Riman. Oh, that's the way to finish a race, I suppose. Riman coming home in 14th with Fatir. I keep wanting to say Faith, beg your pardon. Fatir Kursat in 15th position with Catch a Glimpse 16. Jacob P17. Ranch 1971. The camera gets really confused there. In 18th position, Gosku is going to cross the line 19th with Freak Superman 20th. Darsky, his race went very badly wrong. 21st, as did Laserbeaks in 27th. He's actually being chased by Stokeman. Stokeman with repeated trips through the pit lane. Even parking inside the breakdancing car. These two are still racing, so everybody on the lead lap. That's at least something to... I think everybody on the lead lap. With the amount of pit stops Stokeman's had, I wouldn't be surprised if he is indeed a lap down. But over the line come Laserbeam and Stokeman. So I need to take a picture of these because I'm reading out the results for the next race. So there they are. Puff Pirates taking the win. So I'm just going to scroll down, take the next 10. I'm just doing this very, very quickly. And then the last ones. And then we will run through them properly. So, that's not what I want to do at all. Puff Pirate then taking race number 1 with Fab Iceman 2, Steve G3, Firefly 4, Eugene Flecko 5, Taudu in 6th, Nada 7, Mark 8, Badenberg 9, and Drux rounding out the top 10. Meerkat 11, Born to be Slow 12, Eagle 13, Riman 14, Fatir Kisat in 15, Catchlin 16, Jacob P17, Ranch in 18, Gosky 19, Freak Superman 20, Darsky 21, Laserbeak 22, Stokeman 23, Shepherd and James are retired from the race. We did lose another, I think it was Yami. With Yami we lost it very early on. Okay, bear with me whilst we get the grid sorted out for race number 2. Which will require me to return to TeamSpeak whilst we get that sorted out. I'm sure there'll be a lot of things that are being discussed about that race we have just seen, but here we go, hopping across.
Horrible.
Nice racing, guys. I was just talking to James about our incident, but all good.
I forgot to turn on crew chief, so I had a really difficult race.
Yeah. I know that.
I just turned it on now, so it's alright.
We have like 5 minutes now, or?
Just a couple of minutes while I get everything set back up on the server.